Hi, everybody. Welcome to the October newsletter. I am Andrew Triplett. I lead the consulting team here at TouchPoint. With me is Will.
Hi, everyone. Will Whitworth, lead the partner support team here at TouchPoint.
And so, Will and I are going to spend some time today talking to you about the TouchPoint roadmap. We're going to take a look backwards at some things we've been doing over the last year. We're going to take a little look forward as well. Before we get into all that, though, we want to talk a little bit about what product looks like right now at TouchPoint. So, here at TouchPoint, we have put together a team called the product team. That team is comprised of members of several different parts of our company. Leading that team is Adam Ash. He is our head of development. And then we have Stacy. She is our business analyst. Then, of course, Will, who leads the support team. Then Sarah Kavanaugh and myself, we represent consulting. And then on the sales side, we have Eric Smith. And so we've done it this way to kind of just get the opinions and thoughts of all of the different sectors of Touchpoint so they can all be represented. So that it's not just one person saying, hey, we really need to focus on this new incredible feature so we can have that for the market. And then at the same time, ignore some of the things that, hey, we're hearing from our current customers that they would really like to see some features that are enhanced and that kind of thing. And so it's been a really, really great development here. We've really enjoyed it. If you were at Summit, then you would have heard our head of development, Adam Ash, talk about how we're kind of entering into what we're calling a season of excellence. So for the last several years, if you've been with us, then you have seen just an incredible amount of new features added to the code base. And the features are great. And we've gotten a lot of great feedback on them. And churches have told us, hey, this has really helped us with our ministry. And it really helped us with this one particular thing that we were trying to accomplish. And TouchPoint didn't have it, and now you do. And now that we've kind of gotten through a lot of that, we want to take a little step back, take a little breather, and kind of say, hey, what can we do now to not only make sure the system is running as efficiently as it can, as stable as it can be, but also that how can we just make it fun to use? How can we make some improvements that really set the stage for success for you and your staff? And so that's the season that we're in right now. And so Will and I are going to talk a little bit about that. So to kick things off, let's talk about where we've been. Some things that we have seen over the last year. So, Will, I'm going to throw it to you. So, what's one thing that we've done over the last year that you're excited about?
So one of those things is that we were able to fix a lot of things, especially related to registration forms. That's a heavily utilized feature of TouchPoint. And we want the software as a whole to help churches accomplish their mission and further God's kingdom. And I know firsthand how frustrating it can be when you get interrupted from doing something because the software's not working as you expect it to. So I'm and my team are really grateful for those of you that take the time to send in the support request if you have any trouble and provide details of the issues you're encountering so that we can make sure to address it. And we have more updates on the way in that area and quality of life improvements. So I'm excited for those to come here in the near future. Be sure to stay tuned to the release notes that are on our documentation site where you can read all those details.
So along with those improvements, for those of you that are utilizing TouchPoint Giving, so our TouchPoint Giving churches, we have rolled out some brand new giving reports. You can find those under the finance menu, and then the reports drop down there. So a lot of those new reports, they're really great. They kind of allow you to look at two different periods and compare against two different periods. And so we've gotten a lot of really good feedback on those, again, for our TouchPoint Giving churches. Another thing that we have rolled out that I think went a little bit under the radar is our new Outlook single sign-on. So if you and your church staff are using Outlook, then you actually can set up single sign-on. So if you take a look in the documentation, you can learn about this and how to set it up. It's really not that difficult. And what that will allow you to do is to, as you're signing on to Outlook, you can also be signing on to TouchPoint. So it just kind of improves efficiency through the day, so you're not having to manage 2 different logons.
In addition to that, most of you may not be familiar with the word unlayer. It's kind of behind the scenes, but for any of you that write emails, you have likely used unlayered. It's the mobile responsive editor when you're drag and dropping elements into your email. And we made some changes there. We updated it to the latest version. We improved the usability of it and enabled some of the recent features that had been added to that editor. So that'll help you make more beautiful emails and have them work correctly and look great in all of the email clients out there.
So maybe the biggest release that we've had for the last year or so is a new feature called Rooms and Reservations. Many of you are using a tool, oftentimes it's third party, where that allows you to reserve rooms and reserve resources, assets, services, to make sure that the events that you have are set up properly. And so a request we've had for a long time is to bring that under the TouchPoint umbrella. And so now we have. And so that has been in beta for the last several months. This is a big project, and it's been a very, very slow, very deliberate beta process to make sure that we're really sticking the landing. So we've had some beta churches that have done a great job of helping us uncover gaps and uncover things that we can, some rough edges that we can smooth out. That's the purpose of a beta process, is to uncover things like that. And so we really appreciate those churches. We actually have the first churches going live on that right now. If that is something that you and your church would be interested in, then you can reach out to our consulting team. We can help you get that process started. And so we are doing a relatively slow rollout on that. So it will be available to everybody. We'll be talking about it in the not too distant future with a little bit more information. But for now, if you are interested, you can reach out to the consulting team, and we can assist with that.
All right. So Andrew, we just talked through some of the things that we've worked on in the past year. We do have several exciting things that we're working on the remainder of this year and moving into 2026. So let's talk through a few of those things, just so everyone knows what to expect.
Yeah, 2026. I almost corrected you. There's no way that 2026 is possible. But yeah, you're right. It is 2026. And so one of the things that'll be rolling out before 2026 should be our some enhancements to the mobile app. With right now, our church partners are using 3.8. We'll be rolling out 3.9. Part of 3.9 is sermon notes. So you will have sermon notes in the app. That's something that the 2.0 app did have a version of, and so this one looks great, works really, really well. Excited for our church partners to see it and get their hands on it. But the feature is just what it's on. It's there in the name of the feature, sermon notes. It allows you all to set up your sermons in the app, so that your users can come in and go back in time and see sermons that have happened in the past and see what notes you've loaded in there, and then take their own notes. So there'll be a tab just for them to take notes during the service. And then of course they can save those to reference them later. The media section is also getting a relatively significant facelift. I really think everyone's going to love it. It really makes use of the space very well. There in the media section, kind of goes to more of a card layout, so that logos are a little bit bigger. That was some feedback that we got. So I think people are really going to like that. So stay tuned for that as well.
For those of you that are using TouchPoint Giving for your online payments, we're going to be adding support for stock and crypto within TouchPoint. We've had a lot of questions about that, so we'll have more details to provide in the near future about that. In addition, we're going to be adding an option to allow paying later for registrations. So we know that there are scenarios where people need to register for an event, but they aren't making a payment at that initial registration. So to accommodate that, we're going to add functionality officially in TouchPoint to have an option to pay later for those.
Another big project that will be 2026 is a new dashboards plugin system. So for any of you that really love those widgets on the homepage because of the information that you can push and make upfront to your team, we are doing an overhaul on that and moving to the concept of sort of a plug-in system. The goal of this project is to reduce the amount of code, greatly reduce the amount of code that you will have to manipulate to get these onto your homepage. And within that, all kinds of speed enhancements. So for any of you that use a lot of widgets, you've really enjoyed getting those on there. You've noticed that it kind of slows the homepage down a little bit, and so we're going to take steps to make sure that loads just as quickly and efficiently as possible. So that will be a really exciting change. Another big one that's coming is going back to registrations with the e-signature. Registrations already has a terms and services question type. So if you've never used that, you can take a look at documentation. But of course, when someone registers for an event, you can ask them to accept the terms and conditions of registering for that event. We've had a lot of churches ask, well, can we kind of integrate an e-signature platform just to make sure that that is as above board as possible and that there's some legality behind it with an actual signature. And so we are doing that. So that's going to be, looks like it'll be like a question type on the registration form so that you can have an e-signature tool that people actually fill out and sign as they're registering.
Another heavily used feature of TouchPoint is check-in, and along with that, there is a print server application that processes all the print jobs to get your labels that you can put on your kids. We haven't touched that print server in a long time, so we are going to revisit that and do some updates to that, take some of the feedback that we've received from our partner churches and enhance that onboarding experience and the setup to get that working smoothly, and just minimize any difficulty that anyone may have getting all those print jobs set up.
Another feature that we announced at Summit, and I was shocked, we got a pretty good applause out of this one, is we're rewriting some of the communications system, some of what handles the email system, again, to improve what is already very, very high deliverability, see if we can improve that even more. But also within that project, for any of our church partners that have their own SendGrid account. So if you set up your own SendGrid account, we'll be able to actually tie that in to the email process. So if you're sending an email, then you're probably aware that those come from the TouchPoint servers, and when it's delivered, it'll say mailer@tpsdb.com. Depending on whatever email client that the recipient is looking at, they might see mailer@tpsdb.com. Well, now you can put in your own SendGrid account so that it will have your church's branding, your church's email address in that place. And so a lot of churches are really excited about that because that'll just make brand cohesiveness even better within TouchPoint.
Yeah, and I think I mentioned this on stage at Summit when I was talking about that communication tree, right? But another piece of that that's great is that it's going to allow during the morning hours when we're running all our morning processes for recurring giving and the scheduled jobs that happen across all our databases, it's going to allow you to schedule an email to go out anytime you want, and it will go out at that time. I know some churches need those emails going out in the early hours of the morning, and sometimes those can get a little bit delayed, but we'll now be able to send those out on time, and you won't have any issues there. So that's going to be a huge improvement as part of that project. Another thing that we're working on, we currently integrate with Ministry Safe and Protect My Ministry for those of you running background checks. And if you're using Ministry Safe, you might also use their trainings module that you can initiate within TouchPoint. We will be adding support for Protect My Ministry's training module as well. So we're going to add that, and then those two integrations will have feature parity. So whichever one of those you're using, you have access to both of those options. So Andrew, we're going to be delivering all of these great new features and updates as Christmas gifts for everyone, right?
If only it were that easy. Well, yes. If we had that magic button that we could press and have this all done right now, we would press it. I promise. Promise you that. But as with rooms and resources that we talked about earlier, we really want to make sure that we are taking a good approach here, that we are being very deliberate and releasing excellent features that help you and your team. And so There's no firm commitments, no firm timelines on any of the items that we've discussed, other than to say that these are on the way and you can't expect them. So stay tuned to the blog. If you're not subscribed to the blog, take a look. You've obviously received the newsletter, so you're getting that, you're reviewing that. So stay tuned, and we will keep you updated with those features as they're made available. So with that, I'll say thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for sticking to the end here. We appreciate you all. Thank you for letting us serve your church, and Will, take us on.
All right. Well, thanks for taking the time, everyone, to watch this, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.